Hi everyone. I'd like to show you an interesting use case that Shopia can help you with, which is analyzing reviews, more specifically Trustpilot reviews. And the reason you do this is perhaps you're doing some kind of research on a product and you're trying to find pain points or something that's good about it, and you're using it as part of your process, let's say. So in this example, we're looking at Trustpilot reviews, and let's say we're looking at Jasper, which is rated fairly well, but we want to find maybe certain weaknesses or areas of improvement. So one way to do this is perhaps to look at 4-star, 3-star, and 2-star reviews, because 5-star reviews might not necessarily have any negative feedback in them, and 1-star reviews are maybe just very angry customers. So as you can see, what this does is it changes the URL. So it says stars equals 2, 3, and 4. We can use this URL in Shopia to help us analyze this more quickly. As you can see, there's long text, there's a lot of reviews here. And so going through each one by one and copying and pasting certain bits and writing notes can take time. So we want to speed this up. So the way to do this with something like Trustpilot, if we go to, let's say, page 2, you can see it adds a part to the URL. So let's just copy this URL and go back to Shopia. So we're on the Workflows tab, and we want to build a new template, because in this case, we don't have a template for this particular task yet, but we're going to build one. So the first thing I'm going to do, and the reason why will become clearer in a second, but I'm going to just add context. Okay, so in context, you can either add a URL, a file, or just add text manually. But what a context step means is you can use whatever information is in that context in other steps. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to add text manually, and I'm going to paste this URL. I'm going to copy this multiple times, okay, and change the page. So this is page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, okay. So in this case, let's say we want to look at just the first 4 pages of Trustpilot reviews for Jasper. And we're going to refer to this context later on. So let's just add a step. This prompts the save workflow pop-up. So let's just call this review analyzer, and let's just save this. And here we can choose from a bunch of actions. What we want to do is use the links that we've defined here in our context and scrape those pages. Okay, so let's just click on scrape page. And here we have a field for the URL and a field for the action you want to perform on that URL. Now, one way to do this is to copy, paste it here, click analyze, and get your answer that way. But this can be time consuming, right? Because you'd have to do it over and over. So we want to automate this. The way to do this, there is a syntax for this. If you've seen any of the tutorial videos, we explain this in a bit more detail. But to refer to a previous step, you can use this syntax, which is step_1, because this is step 1. And here it's step 2. So basically what we're saying here is anything in step 1, add it to this field here, to this input field. But this won't work just yet, because here we have multiple links added to this field here. So we need to split by each line so that we can add each line and run this over each line. So to do this, you do a comma, split by _ line. What this does is it's going to kind of parse this into separate lines, and each line goes in here. And then when you click analyze, it will run this action multiple times on each line. Now you have a bit more control if you want choose the lines you want to access, you can do comma 1, 2, 3, for example. This will only look at the first 3 lines. But in this case, we just want all the lines. And the action we want to perform is, let's say, analyze the reviews in this page and identify any weaknesses and pain points. Okay, so we're now good to go. So we have this on fast mode right now because we don't need quality mode necessarily. It will take a bit longer. So in this case, we can just run this quickly. Let's just click analyze and see what happens. Okay, it's done generating. Let's go all the way up. And as you can see, it's listed out the main things that it found to be a weakness or a pain point. Now, each hashtag references the different loop that's been run. So whenever there's a hashtag, that means we've gone from this page to that page. So difficulty navigating the platform, lack of customization, frustration with the cancellation process, poor customer support, subpar AI performance. Now, you can always go back and tweak the action you want to perform. You can say, analyze the reviews and write in detail. So it's less of just a summary, a very short summary and more detailed. Okay, this is done quite well. Now, if you're doing this over several pages, this can get very long, right? And a lot of things can get repeated multiple times. And so for that reason, we can add another step and we can just kind of summarize this into just one complete answer. So we can say use custom prompt. And here we can use this step function one more time. But before that, let's just say, okay, so what we're going to do now is just say the following are pain points identified in Trustpilot reviews for a company called Jasper. And we're using this step _2. So here we're saying whatever is in here, whatever is the output of step 2, go here just under this prompt, this line here. And then we're saying summarize and organize these pain points and weaknesses. And then maybe we can say summary. So it writes just underneath. We can change this to quality mode so that it writes maybe in a better way and click generate. Okay, so here it's summarized this for us. Poor uniqueness and repetitive content, high cost and perceived overpricing, complicated user interface, steep learning curve. Okay, so it's basically summarized everything that it found here, which is a bit long, right, into maybe a more concise way. And we can always copy this and add this to our editor and maybe run this process again on different pages, different competitor, different page, and just compile all the research that we want. And of course, if you've saved this, all you need to do is just change these links, run this all over again. You can use the run all steps and it will do this process in just one click. Hope this has been helpful. If you have suggestions for different use cases, please let us know. Thank you.